My husband's parents excluded me from their family for years. Now I'm doing the exact same thing. When I married Daniel, his parents made it clear I wasn't what they'd hoped for. His mother, Linda, would introduce me as Daniel's wife, never by my name, never as her daughter-in-law. His father, Robert, would leave the room when I entered, saying he needed air. At family dinners, they'd set my place at the far end of the table, away from everyone else, with mismatched plates while everyone else had the good china. They'd plan family vacations and tell Daniel about them the day before, saying they assumed I'd be too busy to come. Every Christmas, they'd give Daniel expensive gifts and hand me generic candles or bath sets with the price tag still on, showing they came from the clearance rack. They'd take hundreds of photos at family events, but crop me out before posting them. When I got pregnant with our first child, Linda said she hoped the baby looked like Daniel's side because their features were more refined. Robert asked if we were sure the baby was Daniel's, right in front of everyone at Easter dinner. When our son Ben was born, they visited once, complained he didn't look like Daniel enough, and left after 10 minutes. They missed his first birthday because they scheduled a cruise that week, knowing the date months in advance. For our daughter Amy's birth, they didn't even come to the hospital. They sent Daniel a congratulations text, but nothing to me. Every milestone the kids had, they were absent. They'd visit Daniel's brother Kyle, who lived 20 minutes from us, and not even tell us they were in town. I'd find out from Kyle's wife posting photos with them. When we bought our first house, they refused to come see it, saying it was too far even though it was closer to them than our apartment had been. When Daniel got promoted, they threw a party and didn't invite me, saying it was just for blood family. When I graduated with my master's degree after years of night school, they didn't acknowledge it. Daniel would make excuses, saying they were set in their ways, they'd come around, they just needed time. 10 years of time apparently wasn't enough. They'd call Daniel to complain about me, saying I kept the kids from them when they'd never once asked to see them. They'd tell relatives I was cold and unfriendly when I'd spent years trying to connect with them. They'd send birthday cards to Daniel and the kids, but never to me, even though Daniel reminded them every year. At family reunions, they'd introduce everyone else, then gesture vaguely in my direction saying, "And Daniel's here too," as if I was just an attachment to him. Then last year, Robert lost his job at 61. They'd been living beyond their means for decades, assuming Robert would work forever. They had no savings, huge debts, and were about to lose their house. Linda called Daniel crying, saying they needed help. They wanted to move in with us temporarily while they figured things out. Daniel felt obligated and asked me to consider it. I said yes, but I had conditions. They moved in on a Tuesday. I showed them to the smallest bedroom at the back of the house, the one with no closet that we'd been using for storage. Linda asked about the guest suite upstairs, and I said that was for welcomed guests. I gave them mismatched sheets and towels from the donation pile, saying the good linens were for family. At dinner that first night, I set their plates at the TV trays in the living room while we ate at the dining table. Robert asked why they couldn't join us, and I said the table was for immediate family. Linda started to protest, and I reminded her of 10 years of holiday dinners where I'd eaten alone at the end of their table. For Ben's school play, I told them about it an hour before, saying I assumed they'd be too busy to come. When they scrambled to get ready, I said actually the car was full and they'd have to find their own way. They missed it, just like they'd missed every other event in his life. Amy's dance recital, I didn't tell them at all. When they asked why, I said I didn't think they'd be interested since they'd never shown interest before. I started planning a family vacation and booked everything without telling them. When Linda saw me packing, I said it was just for immediate family, and I'd assumed they'd be too busy anyway. They stayed home alone for a week while we went to the beach. For Robert's birthday, I gave him a generic wallet from the dollar store with the tag still on. For Linda's, a candle that smelled like cat pee. They complained to Daniel, and I said I'd put as much thought into their gifts as they'd put into mine for 10 years. When their friends asked to visit, I said the house wasn't ready for guests. They went to Daniel demanding he make me treat them better. What Daniel told them made his mother cry harder. Full story on channel, link below.